Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha. Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sarva Mangala Mangalle Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharanye Trambake Devi Narayani Namostute. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shri Hanumate Namaha. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 13th of January 2026. I want to offer my prostrations to all the great sages and to Bhagavan, residing in the heart of every single being. We are continuing to better conceptually understand the connection between Bhakta and Bhagavan, the devotee and God. In general, that is Bhakti. Upasana is towards one Swarup or one form of God, one Roop, Swarup, like this, one form of God. That is Ishta. Ishta meaning that which is, as we have been saying, an existential attractor. Existential attractor is a term that probably nobody has heard. It is, or very few people may know anything about that. That is a technical term used to better understand and explain that connection between Bhakta and Bhagavan. See, we already experience attractions in life, do we not? Isn't it so? This is our life experience. We are attracted towards the objects of the world, towards certain people of the world, towards certain ideas in the world. Attraction is not just the male, female, or the sexual attraction. That's like one aspect. But there's many types of attraction. Isn't it so? This is our life experience. Depends how you use this word. Many people just use that word in terms of the romantic context. But there's actually many ways to say, many ways to utilize this concept of attraction. They can say, like when we go for touring, the people say, what are the attractions in this area? See, the same word is used. So we are aware in a general sense and from life experience, what is attraction? We know that. We have first person experience of what is attraction with regards to the objects, people, places of the world. The objects outside, the people outside, and the places outside. Isn't it so? You go for a nice drive in on a nice local road, and you wind up in a mountainous region. What a beautiful, how wonderful! It's so attractive. You see, again, the same word is used. We use the word beauty also, saundarya. Kitna is anubhav? Is it not anubhav? I think we have to begin with this. We have to begin with our life experience, and then we will see how this same life experience is bridged into the bhakti and upasana towards Bhagavan. It is not running away from the life experience, because the life experience is our direct anubhav. It's our direct reality. It's our direct life. How can you run away? How can anybody run away from that? Why should you run away from that? That is not going to help anybody. Running away from it, or even just getting lost in it, both are problems. That is the polarity between, in Sanskrit, jisko hum kehte hain, tyag on one side and bhog on the other side. It's a pendulum. Tyag and bhog. Bhog means enjoyments. I like this thing, I just want to go run after that. Jisko bhog vritti kehte hain. Want more. In psychology, this is called the appetite, the appetitive aspect. We enjoy something, our tendency, our desire, vasanas, is to run after that more. It happens with money, isn't it so? You start developing a bank account, you start feeling, wow, this is awesome. $100,000, $200,000, 500. When will it become million? When will it become 2 million? It goes on. It happens with all life experiences. Something that we, quote, enjoy, that we are attracted to, that we find enjoyment in, we find pleasure in, etc. The psychological demand and the neuropsychological demand is to say, I want more. The I, ahankar, that says, I like this, so I want more of it. And I want more, and I want more, and I want more. I want it again, and again, and again. And I want more of it. But the fact of the matter is that just by following that type of path, bhog ka marg, sambhog ka marg, bhog ka marg, right? For all the objects, people, places, clothing, cars, bank accounts, food items, everything, all life experience. There is an experience of bhog. Bhog means it's an enjoyment. Now, this is on one side, and this is part of life. We cannot deny that that is there. Obviously, it is there. All of the food that we eat 3 times a day or more, it is a type of bhog. It is enjoyment. And this is a specific word used in Sanskrit, bhogam. It's a Sanskrit word, in fact. Now, this is on one side. It's a pendulum. You know what a pendulum is, right? It goes back and forth like this. So, bhog is on one side. And then the psychological demand is to expand that. The mind is thinking, if I get more of this, I, the ego, it wants to open the door into anandam, ananta, infinite joy. It cannot happen. Why? Because that experience is limited by the brain. There's a concept in psychology and neurology. You might want to write this down. I hope you're taking notes. If not, it's okay, but try to take some notes. Keep a small pad with you and just write down key bullet points. You don't have to write down full sentences. Before you know it, within 6 months to a year, you will have, the jnanam will increase tremendously. Anyway, write this down. Cortical lottery. It's a most interesting concept. Cortical, C-O-R-T-I-C-A-L, cortical lottery. Every human being, particularly addicted people, but just human beings in general, all of us are trying to win the cortical lottery. You know what that is? That is, in theory and in neurology itself, neurological process, the maximum amount of pleasure, enjoyment, this bhog, that the brain can generate. There's a limit to what the brain can generate. And this is true with many experiences of life. The only exception, interestingly, is the desire for money. Iska koi upper limit nahi hai. Otherwise, everything else has an upper limit. And then it comes back again as vasanas, but it has a limit. See this interesting point. We may not have ever realized this. This is why there are so many wars, problems, conflicts. Why humanity suffers? It suffers more because of greed, lobh, more than kam and krodh also. Manan kijiye is point par. We don't realize, see, how much is enough? With the sexual process, there's a limit. Everybody knows that. There's a whole sexual response cycle. If you're taking notes, you can write that down also. Masters and Johnsons did a lot of research on this. It's all available online. It's called the sexual response cycle. इसको हम काम कहते हैं. काम वासना, particularly in terms of the sexual process. That's how we're born. Okay, भगवान कृष्ण भी कहते हैं ये मेरी विभूति है और देवों में मैं कामदेव हूँ. Okay, that part is there. Understood. Fine, there's a limit there. Even anger. Anger का भी कुछ limit है. You can get angry, really mad, do something, but then it shuts down. लोभ का ऐसा नहीं है. लोभ का ऐसा है ही नहीं. If somebody has $100,000 in their bank account, I want more. And then they will try businesses, this, that, make it 200,000, make it 300, make it 1 million, make somebody's 1 million. I want, when can I get to 5 million? When can I get to 10 million? When can I get to 100 million? When will I become a billionaire? When will I become a multi-billionaire? Iska koi end. Look at the people in the world today, these very, very well-off people. Anyone crosses large amounts of money, maybe, let's just use as an example, $1 million bank mein hai. Sachin doesn't have anything like that, by the way. We are not even looking for all that kind of stuff. वो तो एक अलग बात है. But those who have that, iska, the weight of that, look at me, look at what I have, me, my possession. The ahankar becomes intensely strong because of the possession of money. That is why Jesus said in the Bible, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter heaven. लोभ नहीं छूटता किसी का. Some of the most wealthy people are the most stingy people. They cannot spend their money. They're just stuck, trapped. ऐसे मर जाते. So many. And then they're born billions of times as insects. Next life is insect world after this. Guaranteed. धर्मामृत में लिखा है, सत्संगी जीवन में लिखा है, गीता जी का निरूपण आप करेंगे, इसमें भी you want to accumulate more. भगवान कहते हैं, okay, you want that? I'll make you a queen bee or some kind of an insect and live with all those creatures. That's what you want. ध्यान रखना, ये लोभ खतरनाक बात है. If you have wealth and अहंकार में लोभ नहीं है, भगवान स्वामीनारायण क्या कहते हैं? You know what is written in the Vedas? महाराज कहते हैं उनके परमहंसों के लिए, ऐसे जो गृहस्थ है, ऐसे जो महान व्यक्ति है, उनको नमस्कार कीजिए. It's extremely difficult. If you have good amount of wealth, and इसमें अहंकार नहीं, using it for seva, using it for the purposes of the goodness for the world. कितनी, look at the wealthy people today in the sansar. They're living in their mansions and this and that and all that. That's okay. The next life is ant colony. That's exactly where they wind up because of their greed. Bhagwan Krishna कहते काम क्रोध लोभ नरक के द्वार है. Nark meaning in the lower species, dharmamrut. Because you see this, this is called dharmamrut. भगवान स्वामीनारायण उन्होंने क्लियरली लिखा है इस पॉइंट पर. ये क्या, इसकी गति क्या होती है? लोभ नहीं छूटता किसी का नहीं. This is why there are wars. Countries are warring. Nobody is satisfied. Kam and krodh, they have a certain limit. But you want power, the desire for power, the demand for power over others. Anybody who has this vritti, they cannot ever reach the Bhagavad Dham. भगवान के धाम में एंट्री कभी भी नहीं होती. Yeah, this has to go. This has to be transformed into seva. And if it's not transformed into seva, it will take the भगवान क्या कहते हैं, आपकी जैसी वृत्ति है, अंते यामति ही सागति ही, you'll wind up there. Usually chasing that wealth generation to generation. If somebody is a wealthy person, they have a child, and that wealth has been inherited by somebody in the past, that child is probably that person. They're chasing that. This is called Vedantic metaphysics. किसको ज्ञान है इसका? This is why 99% of humanity is totally trapped. More than 99%. किसको ज्ञान है इसका? दिस इज वाई भगवान की जो भक्ति है, भगवान का जो मंत्र है, भगवान का जो ज्ञान है, दैट इज द ओनली वे आउट ऑफ ऑल ऑफ दिस मेस. अदरवाइज इसका अंत कभी भी नहीं आता. It requires Shraddha in the Gita, in the Sant Parampara, in all of the commentaries written by the great sages. Right now there are so many great saints and sages. वो कैसे जीते हैं? ये लोभ खतर, it is a most terrible thing. Because what it does, it traps the person. And this entire human economy is based on lobh. We have to live with the people of the world, but live above it. It's very, very tricky. The wanting, because there's no upper limit. There's no upper limit. Look at the, I won't give any names, look at the extremely wealthy, the billionaire class. Are they satisfied? बहुत हो गया, अभी नाम जप करेंगे. कितना चाहिए जीवन में? Always trying to overpower, trying to gain something. If you have seva attitude, that is punyam. Punya, if you use the wealth for the purpose of helping the humanity, then that is something wonderful. And wealth is not just money, by the way. It's so many other kinds of wealth is there too. Progeny is wealth. The possessions we have, the knowledge, even all of this information that is being shared, it's a type of wealth. इसका अहंकार नहीं आना चाहिए. If Sachin says this is my jnana, it's not my jnana. It is coming from Adi Anadi Paramatma. उनका ये सब है, हमारा तो कुछ है ही नहीं. We think that we have, our ahankar is so deadly, it thinks that it has everything. It's grabbing hold of everything. And this entire sansar works like this. From the ant to the Brahmaji, all the way up to, we cannot say Brahmaji himself, but like, वो तो अलग बात है. But that is the whole Brahma, all the beings from the ant, Kita Brahma, it's called. Everybody has some ahankar is there. Not some, huge amount of ahankar is there. Lobh ki upper limit nahi hai. That is why humanity continues to suffer. We hurt others. We harm others. And by hurting others, by harming others, by trying to overpower others, the sanskara that develops because of that, the impressions, the kind of karma that develops, it will lead to lower life forms. The jivatma will go straight into lower life forms. Spiders and ants and bugs and worms, and ये जो सब life form है, वो कौन थे? All these extremely wealthy people who have ahankar. They don't have seva bhav. This is their destination. 100%. और बहुत terrible वासना है of some kind. जैसी वासना ऐसा शरीर मिलता है. That's the law. जैसी वासना. इसीलिए money is not the problem. If you have lot of money, भगवान के चरणों में रख देना. सेवा करना इसका. Don't misuse. In our angel wing program, we have a concept called vitamin M. Use it in the right way for the benefit of all, for your own benefit. Otherwise, it will harm you. It is Shakti. वो महालक्ष्मी जी की Shakti. It is to be used for seva. It is not to be used to harm anybody and just to increase ego. No. That is a difference between Mahalakshmi. Mahalakshmi is, the concept of Mahalakshmi is that all of our wealth, money wise, mind wise, speech wise, every power we have is used for seva, is used for the benefit of others. Sarva bhuta hite rataha. May all be benefited by this. Rather than just me and my ego that is increasing. Want to increase the ego? Have you ever observed the small bugs and all that? They are so attached to that body that they're in. कितना कैसा जीवन है उसका? इन गुजराती इसका भुंडा देह. ऐसी प्राप्ति होती है इसकी. बहुत ध्यान रखना है. बहुत डेडली बात है ये सब. Nobody understands this, unfortunately. इसीलिए again and again, we are saying, Bhagwan Krishna is teaching us, all the scriptures say, keep attention on that Paramatma. Bhagwan ka naam sudrud banana, make it strong. भगवान की भक्ति, भगवान की उपासना और जो शक्ति है, इस पर ध्यान रखना. Because it is a game of energy. It is a game of energy. That's what it's all about, folks. A couple more points. I'm going to go a little bit further. I just wanted to mention this today. Somehow this came in my mind as we were talking, as we were as trying to present these ideas. Bhagwan ko bahut pratna. It's very difficult. It's extremely hard when you have wealth accumulated to see that in the light of seva, in the light of benefit of others, to keep an open vision and keep your attention on higher consciousness, keep attention on inner development, inner, yes. Ye jo, for example, as an example, if somebody has $5 million in the bank account, in Gujarati we say, no, bhar, you feel the weight of that. This is me. The me becomes so strong. Leave that there. Bhagwan Lakshmi Narayan जो है उनके चरणों में रख देना checkbook आपका है. That's all. It's so simple. What's so hard about this? महालक्ष्मी जी के चरणों में रख देना उनका है ये, not me and mine and my ahankar. Yes, this is a total wrong concept, and that will cause damage. It will make the ego stronger, and the body will become old. The person dies with that me. ऐसे ही मर जाते, and then the reincarnation goes for billions of lifetimes, not just millions, billions. Anteyamatihi sagatihi. Deadly baat hai ye. Now it's beyond deadly. Even the word deadly is a very good word compared to what actually happens. विचित्र बात है ये सब. काम वासना की लिमिट है. Even in that, it should be understood. ये भगवान की शक्ति है for the purpose of procreation. And of course, enjoyment is there, but that God has put that there so the procreation can continue. That is its basic purpose. But there's people who are just running after that and damaging their internal Kundalini Shakti. Nahi, aisa nahi karna. That's a problem over there. Krodh. Anger. There's a range, right? Krodh doesn't mean just anger. See, there's a whole range actually. I mean, it is anger, but it's from mild, very mild frustration, and then it increases, up to something in psychology called rage, frozen anger, hatred, and everything in between. Krodh is the one intense energetic emotion and bhav from inside that causes the maximum damage in the minimum amount of time. That is krodh. Isko chhod dena. Sometimes you have to use that shakti for benefit. You have a child or somebody's doing something, you have to be strict or whatever. That's the right use. Like I think it was Aristotle or Socrates, somebody said anybody can become angry. But to become angry or to use anger in the right way for the right person, towards the right person, right situation, in the right amount, for the right reason, that is difficult. And that principle applies to Kam, Krodh, and the wealth. Lobh vichitra baat hai, bahut vichitra baat hai. And lobh is not just money. You can become lobhy about so many other things, greedy about so many other things in life. It's very, very binding. Itna bandhan hota hai, don't ask. It can happen even in spiritual organizations. This is my organization. These are my disciples. In Gujarati we say Chela Chelinu Bandhan. Those of you who know Gujarati, Chela Chelinu Bandhan. That there's a Chela means the devotees. There's a guru somewhere. And he's got 100 people. Let's say, for example, 150 people are following that particular guru. Maja aati hai. And then what? 5 people leave. They said, I don't want to follow this guy anymore. The so-called guru becomes disturbed. He's bound. इतने लोग आने चाहिए, ये होना चाहिए, वो होना चाहिए. It's called chela, cheli, nuband. Chela meaning male disciple, and the cheli female disciple. इसका बंधन हो जाता है. See, the bondage doesn't go. That is also another kind of lobe. We don't think of it that way, but that is what it is. It's a bondage, bandhan. इतने लोग आने चाहिए, ये होना चाहिए, इतना donation आना चाहिए. This happens in all the religious organizations. Again, you see the bandhan ka to anek swarup. It's like it's incredible how far it goes. That's why bandhan rakhna hai. We want to keep bondage. Use the internal shakti, God's power, and that is bound into Paramatma. एक ही जगह, only one place we are to be bound. भगवान के जो चरण, the charan, चरणारविंद. In Gujarati we say चरणारविंद, in Marathi another language, पादुका it's called. भगवान के जो दिव्य चरण है, चरण कमल, चरण कमल, वहां ही वृत्ति होनी चाहिए. And nowhere, and vritti is there functionally. Yeah, keep it where it needs to be. In the light of that beautiful Ishta Devata connection. In that light. Then there's no issue. Then all the experiences are in the light of that Divya Bhav. वो दिव्य भाव में आ जाता है. Divya Anubhav. It's the same experience of roses and flowers and trees and mountains. And we see, yes, we feel that they're beautiful, but we recognize that the source of the beauty is Paramatma. The same experience which was coming out of the ego and ahankar and this and that and whatnot. Now it is seen in a completely new. ये भगवान की अलौकिक दिव्य शक्ति है. इनकी विभूति है. See, Bhagavad Gita, I think chapter 9 is 9 or 11, one of those chapters. It's Vibhuti Yoga. And Bhagwan kya kehte in the Vibhuti Yoga chapter, everything that is the topmost experience in the material world, that is me. We'll go through maybe in the future sometime, if Bhagwan ki ichha, Vibhuti Yoga. As hopefully everybody has started reading the Gita. Try to read 10-15 shlokas every day systematically. Then I explained the other day how to go through this. Let's do it. Maja aayega. और जीवन इसके लिए, ये जीवन काम क्रोध लोभ मोह मत्सर आशा तृष्णा ईर्ष्या अहंकार राग, this standard list of trash which I don't even want to mention, but I have to unfortunately mention it. इसको, ये trash को क्या लेना है? What is the point of this trash? It's total damaging trash. It's not only trash, you keep it damages you and others. What is the point of keeping that thing? That is not what life is for. Life is very precious. Every breath, we take inward breath, outward breath, inward breath, outward. Narayan, 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 Narayan. Shiva, Shiva, Shiva. Aim, Rim, Klim, Chamundai, Viche. Divya, Bhagwan ke divya mantra ka ratan hona chahiye. Shwaso, Shwasa, Bhajan jab lage, toot and de tan dora. Nath chabi antar mein nirakat jaise chand chakora. Brahmanand Swami kehte. It's a beautiful, he's written thousands of these poems like this. Antar mein bhajan, antar mein bhakti. And experiences of life are in the light of that Param Shakti, not in the fabricated light of the ego. It's not a light. Ahankar mein koi prakash nahi. Ahankar thinks it has a lot of light. This is why ये जो संसार में जो most of the human beings, they are trapped, they are prisoners inside this sansar. Not just human beings, all the other beings also. But they have to live out their karma. They cannot do any new karma really, other than the human body. All the animal bodies and insect bodies and trees, they are just living out their past karma. That's all it is. It's the kind of vritti, जैसी वृत्ति ऐसी स्थिति आ जाती है, ऐसा शरीर मिलता है. भगवान के धाम में जाना है, भगवान के साथ रहना है, भगवान का दिव्य सच्चिदानंद विग्रह, हमारा भी सच्चिदानंद विग्रह हो जाएगा. आत्मा चैतन्य में सच्चिदानंद, but you'll get a divine body. It is called ब्रह्ममय शरीर. It is called भागवती तनु. वो ऐसा दिव्य शरीर मिल जाएगा. Think about that. That's amazing. It's something extraordinary. We don't realize what this life is all about. And then it just goes on. We get stuck in 1,000 places. And we don't realize what is that path. So we want to realize, this is our attempt here, that door, that moksha dwar, to open opening that by sadhana. We are doing want to do our sadhanas and asking Paramatma and great saints to open that doorway, so we don't get stuck inside this sansar anymore. Where is the end? How many babies are born every day? Millions. How many new bodies are coming for all species? 8.4 million species are described in the Bhagavatam. To come out of this and to be completely, exclusively dedicated towards Narayana, towards Ishtadevata. When we get to that point internally, that exclusive dedication, exclusive devotion, when we get to that point, that is where the same life that we have, Ramakrishna Paramahansa explains it as house of mirth, mirth, meaning joy. जहाँ ये सब संसार और प्रकृति, ये सब भगवानमय दिखता है, दिव्य दिखता है, आनंदमय दिखता है, लीलामय दिखता है. Something different is seen. The same is seen in a new light. When our buddhi is awakened out of the binding of the ahankar. Amazing. See, like in the hand of many of the gods and goddesses, inside the Sanatan Dharma. Like for example, Durga Devi, she has a sword in her hand. What is a sword? That is to cut. A sword is used to kill, right? What is it? What is it that is being cut? What is being cut is the damage that the ahankar is causing. That is being cut. The damage is being stopped. And then one continues to live in this world at two levels. The relative level with the people in the sansar, the way it is continuing, but she protects. That's why we do the Navaran mantra every day. We can do 108 times, no problem. It's very good. That's a protection from all the madness that is going on around us. God knows what is going on. We don't want to be stuck with anybody. At the same time, we have to interact with everyone and not get stuck with anybody. And at the same time, not be damaged by anybody. That is why Devi, she has to bless us for that. And then with that, when the opportunity is there, like we have opportunity now, for bhajan, satsang, bhakti, don't lose that chance. Healthy body is there, mind is functioning okay, brain is functioning okay, things are going well. Stop running after these small things and increasing ajnan. When we stop doing that, our energy, our shakti, our direction changes. And when we change this direction, changing this direction from the inside, this is where the Ishta Devata functions as a gravitational center for the mind. Bhagwan mein vritti automatic aa jati hai. Like a gravity, when we take an apple or a spoon or anything, you drop it, it goes straight. It doesn't go up, it goes down. It's gravity. So similarly, भगवान का जो स्वरूप है, भगवान का जो महिमा है, भगवान का जो आनंद है, भगवान की जो शक्ति, all of that becomes gravitational center. Our manovrutti, our body, mind, senses, this and that, it flows into that center automatically, effortlessly. So rather than requiring force is even not required in that, not at all. Even any kind of artificial discipline, even that is not required. Or suppression, even that doesn't happen. God's grace is such, Krupa is such, automatically the bhakta is drawn. Draws the individual bhakta. And the psychological framework inside, the TEMDE, thought, emotion, memory, desire, energy, it recognizes that the Ishta Devata is a form, it was Swarup. It is capable of holding. It is capable of connecting with our deepest aspirations. It resolves all of the tensions. All the tension mentioned sab nikal jata hai, totally. Totally nikal jata hai, from the root, not superficially. It goes from the root. And the coherence. Coherence meaning everything connects properly inside. Anxiety, depression, fear, blame, shame, guilt, all this mess that is there, it will be obliterated by increasing the connection with Paramatma. Bhagwan ke sharan mein jana. Sharanagat vatsal. वो एक ही तत्व है. Ram, Shri Krishna. We have, what is Sanatan Dharma mein, kya amazing grace is there, Krupa is there. So many scriptures, so many gurus. We just have to drink the Amrutam. That's how Amrutam is available. It's just a matter of drinking it. Nothing other than that is even needed. The Amrutam is made for us. Gujarati in Satsang we say, Bhagwan no prasad pirsi gayo chhe, ave jammanuj baki. Everything is ready. Everything is available. Just have to eat it. Bring it inside. Anand ki prapti hoti. And still the life continues. Same life continues. But it continues in a new light. The same life now continues in a divine light. Divya prakash mein jivan. Divya jivan ban jata hai. Divyata ka anubhav aa jata hai. Wherever there is, like in the Vibhuti Yoga, Bhagwan Krishna says, wherever you see the most fantastic experiences in the material world, see the Vibhuti. There's so many, there's a whole list of everything that we find like, wow, this is amazing. Bhagwan ke liye meri Vibhuti hai. Main hi hu wahan. But why? Because Bhagavad Tattva is the Anandakanda. The topmost perfection is God. And that is, Vibhuti means it's a certain kind of Aishwarya and power that is reflected inside the Brahmand. That is called Vibhuti. We'll talk more about that. That's a very interesting subject. What is Vibhuti actually? And if anybody has any requests to cover any particular, I'd be happy to do that for you all. And for myself primarily. Let's stop here for now. A lot of fun things coming up still. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya, Surya Koti Samaprabha, Nirvignam Kurumedeva, Sarvakarishu Sarvadam Ganganapate Namaha, Om Ganana Antva Ganapati Gum Havamahe Kaving Kavina Mupashravastamam. Jeshtrajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashrunvannoti Siddha Sadhanam. Om Shri Buddhi Siddhi Shakti Sahita Shri Mahaganadipate Namo Namah Shri Rajaganapate Namah Shri Vijay Ganapate Namo Namah Om Ganganapate Namah Shri Uchishti Ganapate Namo Namah Om Aim Reem Klim Chamundai Viche Swaha Durge Rakshini Tata Swaha Shri Radha Krishnaya Namo Namah Shri Lakshmi Narayanaya Namo Namah Shri Sadgurubhyo Namaha.